Welcome to the Gavin Brown Show, or at least that's what this will be called until I can think of a better name. So episode 1, this is where we're going to talk about basketball, everything basketball. Basketball for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Basketball palooza, basketball mania, but mostly just the NBA. If I see some cool stuff from like college or overseas, we'll talk about it, but I got to see it first. Someone might have to bring it to my attention because, mostly I just see that stuff in the summer when the NBA is not around. NBA off season, whatever. But we're going to get this show about basketball started with talking about the best team in basketball. You know them, you love them, you probably don't love them. The Oklahoma City Thunder, who are 11-1 after defeating the Golden State Warriors last night. It was Steph Curry's return game, and it was a pretty bad outing for the Warriors. They got blown out, but we're going to talk about the Warriors a little later on in the program, because right now we got to talk about the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Toronto's finest. Because there's an interesting stat that was added to after last night's game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, again, the MVP. Some could say the best player in the world. I personally don't say that, but there's a valid argument. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has sat out of 6 fourth quarters this season. 6 fourth quarters. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has sat out of. And that's incredible. That's 12 games. He has not played the fourth quarter in 6 of those games. And despite that, he is still averaging 32.8 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, 6.4 assists, 2.4 stocks, all while missing the entire fourth quarter in 6 games, which is that's a testament to how great SGA is. It's also a testament to how good the Thunder are. Okay, the Oklahoma City Thunder are so good that SGA is in a position where he doesn't even have to play the fourth quarter. He can preserve his body a little bit, not having to play so much time out there. And, that really comes down to, the Oklahoma City are 6th in offense. They're first in net rating. They're plus 14 when it comes to net rating. It really comes down to their defense. First in defense in the NBA. They're the best defense in the league. And it's incredible when you watch them because everyone on this team is a good defender. Like the worst defender on the Thunder might be SGA, like at least for rotation players. And SGA is a pretty solid defender. All right, now he's no Sidney Moncrief, but he's pretty good at that side of the ball. And it's just the Thunder are so good. They're so good. It's almost kind of boring to watch because you go into a Thunder game and it's like, hey, it's the OKC Thunder. They're going to win this basketball game, no doubt about it. Although tonight they are going to be playing the Los Angeles Lakers in a nationally televised game, which I will be watching. Luka Doncic and SGA, 2 MVP candidates, going up against each other. And I want to talk about the MVP race in a second because, it's early in the season, but there's a lot to talk about. But before I get to that, I want to talk about a guy who could win, not the most valuable player, but the most improved player, A.J. Mitchell of the Oklahoma City Thunder, averaging 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. And he has been a key to the Thunder's success this season because he's played pretty great. But the interesting thing is, he is currently on an 11-point increase from his rookie season. He's in his sophomore season. Last year he averaged 6 points. This year he's averaging 17 points, I should say. And I did not know who A.J. Mitchell was till this season, to be completely honest with you. He played 38 games last season. I think he started 1. He's played all 12 games this season. I think he started 4. So what a jump for, I was thinking, what's his name? Ryan Rollins of the Milwaukee Bucks. These lights are kind of hurting my eyes. Oh my gosh. Ryan Rollins of the Milwaukee Bucks has been impressive this season. He's definitely worthy of being in the consideration for the most improved player, but A.J. Mitchell might run away with this with the way he's playing. Utterly fantastic. But now, this isn't on my sheet, but I want to talk about this. I made a TikTok about this because, we're only 12 games into the season. But the MVP race is just wild. Every player that is an MVP candidate, and we're only 12 games in. Every player that is an MVP candidate or gets MVP mentions is playing so good, like literally fantastic. SGA, we've already gone over his numbers: 33 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Luka Doncic, the man he's playing tonight, the big head-to-head matchup. Luka Doncic is averaging 37 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. He's shooting over 50% from the field, I think like 54%. And he's helped leading the Lakers to what is like their best start in like 5 seasons. Like the Lakers are playing their best basketball in a very long time. Nikola Jokic, he's so fantastic. Like Nikola Jokic's greatness has become mundane. It's become boring. Jokic is so his stat lines, like how a guy's averaging 25 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists, and he doesn't get a lot of attention because he just does it so frequently. A Jokic triple-double is no longer a breaking news or a wow, what a performance. It's a Jokic performance. It's what he does. And it's kind of interesting to me how it's kind of just we're desensitized to Jokic's greatness. And then another guy we're kind of desensitized to his greatness is Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks, who he's low-key carrying the Bucks. I mean, if we gave out the MVP award to the player who is most valuable to their team's success, like you take Giannis off the Bucks, that's a G League team. Not really, but I mean they're probably bottom of the West of the Eastern Conference. If you take Giannis off the Bucks, I mean that's a very, very, very bad team, and he's averaging 30 plus, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. He hit a game winner. Giannis hit a fadeaway game winner. I forgot against which team, but it was the Pacers, actually. It was the Pacers. It's like, what? He's taken a lot more jump shots this year, I've noticed. His three-point percentage is, last time I checked, which was a few days ago, Giannis was shooting 50% from three compared to 26% last year. Now, that may be on very little attempts. That's like 2 attempts per game, but he's still knocking down at least 1 a game. That's what I've noticed. And then you've also got other guys like Victor Wembanyama, who his MVP talk has cooled off a little bit over the last week, but he is no doubt about it the best defender out of the other 4 that I've mentioned so far. Generational defense, defensive player of the year. He's got that on lock. He's playing fantastic. Cade Cunningham has been getting some MVP. People have been talking about it. And, honestly, yeah, like, let's put Cade Cunningham in MVP talks because he deserves it. He's averaging, 25 points, 9 assists, 5 or 6 or 7 rebounds. And we're going to talk about the Detroit Pistons in a second, actually, because Cade Cunningham, I have his stats right here, actually. He's averaging 27.5 points, 5.4 rebounds, 9.9 assists, leading the Detroit Pistons. I saw someone one time say that the NBA should have conference MVPs, sort of like in the MLB where they have league MVPs for the American League and the National League. And, I don't know that I would be entirely opposed to that because, I'm sure there's it's two different, it's not 2 different leagues like the MLB kind of is. It's just 2 different conferences and, but I feel like a guy like Cade Cunningham needs more recognition for how good he's playing. you got all these. I mean, Giannis. Let's be honest. If there was an Eastern Conference Finals MVP, or not, if there was an Eastern Conference MVP, I should say, like Giannis would have won that for the last 7 years, except for maybe the year Embiid was MVP. So I think it's. I don't know. I feel like more recognition needs to go to these players. I mean, if we give out conference finals MVPs, I mean, I wouldn't be entirely opposed to just straight up conference MVPs. Because then, again, guys like Cade Cunningham, his performance, like, this is not like not a top 5 MVP performance. This is really good, and I think he deserves more recognition for it. But speaking of Cade Cunningham, the Detroit Pistons are the first team in the Eastern Conference, and this is part of the reason why Cade Cunningham's getting that discussion, why there's rumblings of people saying Cade Cunningham for MVP, right? Maybe that's just Detroit fans, but I can see why they're saying it. The Detroit Pistons, 2 years ago, I made a video about this on YouTube. The Detroit Pistons 2 years ago were the worst team in basketball. They won 0 basketball games in the month of November, and currently, as of, what is it? Is it the 12th or the 11th? I think it's the 12th. In November, they have yet to lose a basketball game. And they were a laughingstock 2 seasons ago. Monty Williams was their head coach, and at the time, I thought that was a good idea because, I'm a Suns fan. Monty Williams took us to the finals, right? So, the Pistons, first in the Eastern Conference now, and their journey's been very interesting because they fired Monty Williams. They were like 14-68 that season. They tied the record for the worst losing streak in basketball history. They lost 28 straight games, and from October 30th till December 30th, they won 0 basketball games. It was a truly awful time. And then last year, they tripled their wins. All right, they fired Monty Williams. They said, get out of here. Go, leave. We don't want you. And they bring in J.B. Bickerstaff, who had just been relieved of his duties from the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Bickerstaff comes to Detroit, and he takes that team from 14 wins to 44 wins and a very competitive first-round matchup against the New York Knicks that they would lose in 6. But, it was still a very good effort. In addition to Cade Cunningham putting up MVP caliber numbers, another Detroit player who needs some recognition, who's having an all-star caliber season, Jalen Duren, 19 points, 12 rebounds on the season. That's what he's averaging. Last season, I think it was something like 12 points, 11 rebounds. And, I think Jalen Duren should be an all-star. With the way he's performing, like every game I've watched one of the games I watched Jalen Duren in, he got ejected in the second quarter for a flagrant foul. Maybe it was a flagrant 2, actually. But the Pistons are playing great basketball. I think they're on like a 7-game win streak. Yeah, I think they're on a 7-game win streak, and their last win was it was against the Washington Wizards in a game that went to overtime, and Cade Cunningham made history in that game. It was a 46-point triple-double. He made 2 kinds of histories. Cade Cunningham became the only other player besides Michael Jeffrey Jordan to have a 40-point triple-double with 5 steals. So that's great. But he also made history because Cade Cunningham dropped 46 points on 45 shot attempts, and he broke Kobe Bryant's record for most missed shot attempts in a game. Kobe's was 30 missed shots, and Cade had 31. So Kobe Bryant is, Cade Cunningham is putting his name up there with some of the greatest players of all time. Truly a history-making game it was. I didn't watch the game, but, it must have been incredible. Overtime game, Pistons, Wizards. Cade had 40+. C.J. McCollum had 40+. And, this Detroit team is pretty exciting. pretty exciting to watch. A lot of good young players. Really, their whole team's kind of young. Oh, my gosh, this light is bothering me. Their whole team's kind of young. They got Jalen Duren, Cade Cunningham, Marcus Sasser, Jaden Ivey, Isaiah Stewart, Ron Holland. Like, all these guys are early, mid-20s. Like, the oldest guy on the team might be Duncan Robinson or Javonte Green. I don't know. How old is Javonte Green? I actually have no idea. But, Jaden Ivey, we're still waiting for Jaden Ivey to return to basketball after he had a season-ending injury last season. He's been out for a very long time. But speaking of injuries, Anthony Davis of the Dallas Mavericks is injured. It's not working out. Dallas is not pleased with the direction of their team. Yesterday, they fired Nico Harrison, the general manager. And look, there's been some things to come out since Nico Harrison was fired. Nico Harrison will infamously forever be known as the guy that traded Luka Doncic. The guy that traded Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis, who has played 14 out of 40 possible games in his time with Dallas so far. But reports have come out since Nico Harrison was fired yesterday. He urged AD to come back from his calf injury early last season after Anthony Davis got injured in the first game he had for the Mavericks. So that's comedy right there. So he urged AD to come back early because the Mavericks, well, quite frankly, weren't doing that well. The Dallas Mavericks were not doing that well because AD got injured and then Kyrie got injured. And Kyrie, what did he tear his ACL? And he'll be out till December at the earliest probably. So Nico Harrison allegedly urged AD to come back early from his injury, and the Mavericks they lost in the plan, didn't even make the playoffs. Another report has come out that Nico Harrison viewed Nikola Jokic, arguably the best player in the world, as the same tier of player as Drew Holiday. Now, Drew Holiday is a great player. You can argue he's had a Hall of Fame career. Drew Holiday is nowhere close to the same level of basketball player as Nikola Jokic. Drew Holiday has arguably had a Hall of Fame career. Nikola Jokic is knocking on the doorstep. Nikola Jokic is on the doorstep. Knocking on the door. About to pound that door in. Kick the door off the hinges of being a top 10 player of all time. That's Nikola Jokic. Drew Holiday is a great player. Drew Holiday is not, what are we comparing? Drew Holiday is a 2-time All-Star. Nikola Jokic is a 3-time MVP, who arguably, you could say, should have 5 on the high end. I don't know, Nico Harrison maybe. Now, look, I seen a Nico Harrison slander video, Nico Harrison hit piece earlier today where it tried to say he did nothing good as the GM, which is an utter lie. But Nico Harrison should never be a GM in the NBA again. All right, his time with Dallas wasn't. I mean, there were some highlights and there were some lowlights. There was a real big lowlight trading away Luka Doncic. But I mean, you just can't really understand his mindset if he views Jokic and Drew Holiday as the same type of player. And you can you can almost understand it because Nico Harrison seems to be a very defense-oriented guy, and that's very much what Drew Holiday is. But Jokic is about 5 tiers above Drew Holiday, and that's being, conservative in regards to that. But the Dallas Mavericks are also reportedly looking to test Anthony Davis's trade value. They're not very happy with the fact that this man is on the team. They are not too pleased with the fact he keeps getting injured and the fact he showed up to training camp fat. This man was out of shape. Nico Harrison traded Luka Doncic because Luka was apparently fat and out of shape. And then AD shows up to training camp fat and out of shape and wearing goggles now because there's something wrong with his eye. And Dallas, what is it? The Dumont family? They're not really happy with it. They see room for improvement, and there is allegedly teams looking to trade for Anthony Davis. And, you can understand why, but what is AD now? Like 33? 33 probably, an injury-prone superstar. Is Anthony Davis going to be in the league too much longer? Like, he's not going to be in the league when he's 37, is he? I don't really know. But there are teams that are looking to trade for him. But we're going to talk about the Golden State Warriors next. The Warriors started the season off pretty good, from my recollection, if I'm thinking about the right year. But they are currently at 500. They are below my Phoenix Suns, which, Suns are doing better than anybody thought they would. The Warriors are 1-6 on the road. They're undefeated at home, which is, the Warriors tend to do very good at Chase Center. But they're 1-6 on the road. They lost real bad last night to the Thunder. Jimmy Butler took 3 shots in that game. He was 2 for 3 from the field. He was 8 for 8 from the free throw line. He had 12 points. But the Warriors are they lost by like 20 points. And Brandon Pajemski, a player that I think isn't that good, he seems to think he's very good. Because, leading up to the season beginning, Pods made several comments about how he wants to be the face of the Warriors franchise when Steph Curry and Draymond Green retire. And it's been reported that Brandon Pajemski's comments on wanting to be better than Curry have elicited eye rolls from within the organization, from several people within the organization. Draymond Green may be one of them, because Draymond Green sat at the press conference last night and was talking about something along the lines of how the team needs to be more team-oriented, and if players on the team are more self-oriented in their goals opposed to being team-oriented in their goals, then they're going to have to change or they might get traded, is basically what he said. And that could be in reference to Jonathan Kuminga, who had a tumultuous offseason with the Warriors. That could be in reference to Brandon Pajemski. But I would like to point out, Brandon Pajemski said he wants to be the next face of the Warriors franchise. Last season, Pajemski averaged 12 points. This season, he's averaging 12 points. So not a lot of improvement or progress in regards to that accomplishment is being made. Now, before I started filming this, I saw a thing about disgraced Phoenix Suns basketball player Bradley Beal, who currently plays for the Los Angeles Clippers, will be out for the season. Brad Beal will be out for the remainder of the season as he's going to undergo hip surgery, and this comes after like 12 games or 11 games, however many of the games Clippers have played, of Bradley Beal averaging 8 points or 7. I don't know what he finished with. But Bradley Beal, I guess this is kind of like Bradley Beal may now be the epitome of an empty stats player, because he's on the Wizards 5 years ago. Bradley Beal was a all-star, all-NBA player. He averaged 30 points. Or this is 4 years ago because it was 2021. And then he gets a few injuries. Maybe I shouldn't say he's just an empty stats guy, like good player on a bad team type of player. Maybe, you could attribute some of this to injuries. But then he finds his way to Phoenix. He gets traded there for Chris Paul and Landry Shamet. where he goes from the first option to the third option. He's behind Kevin Durant, the greatest scorer of all time. He's behind Devin Booker, arguably the best shooting guard in basketball. And he's the third option, and it really doesn't work out. He's injured the entire time he's playing in Phoenix. And when he isn't injured, he's not playing that great. Like, he averaged, I think, 18 points in his first season with Phoenix, but it wasn't a good 18 points. It's like, he wasn't playing that fantastic. It was like a struggle for him to almost get the 18 points. I mean, he was shooting efficient from three, I'm pretty sure, if recollection serves me correct, but Bradley Beal wasn't that good on the basketball court. And in the playoffs, the one playoffs he went to with the Suns, he was awful. He was terrible. That first round matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Minnesota Timberwolves, Bradley Beal was terrible. And he said after Game 3, because the Suns got swept, he said after Game 3, I've never been swept in my life, and it ain't going to start now. And, yeah, he got swept in Game 4. Bradley Beal put up a stat line. He was 0 for 6 from the field. He had 0 points. He had like 6 turnovers, 5 turnovers, something like that. And he fouled out of the game. And then the next season, he continues to play not spectacularly. And they start putting him on the bench. And then they start giving him DNPs, the Phoenix Suns, that is. Because he's not playing good, and they want to trade him, but he's got a no-trade clause. And so he doesn't want to he doesn't want to get traded for whatever reason, despite the fact the Suns were very clearly showing, hey, man, we don't want you here. He refused to leave until he was bought out in the summer. He would then go on to make a comment since joining the Clippers where he's like, yeah, if you're going to bring me in and not have me be Brad Beal, you're not going to get the best level of play from me because I need to be Brad Beal. And it's like, dude, you had a no-trade clause and you knew you were going to join a team that you weren't going to be the first option on. You sure probably were not going to be the second option on. You were never going to be Bradley Beal on the Wizards. You're never going to be the same Bradley Beal as you were on the Wizards when you come to the Suns. You were never going to be the same you weren't going to have the same role. And you approved the trade because you have a no-trade clause. So he gets bought out by the Suns. He signs for $8 million with the Clippers, and he's averaging 8 points. Now he's out for the season. So that's Bradley Beal for you. But to wrap things up, we're going to talk about the Rookie of the Year race. Very interesting because I have not watched Charlotte Hornets basketball. I confess, I have not watched the Hornets. But there are 2 Charlotte Hornets on here, 2 rookies for the Hornets, are top 5. Ryan Kalkbrenner is number 5. And look, I have not watched the 2 Hornets players. Ryan Kalkbrenner is number 5. Number 4, VJ Edgecombe. He's fell from 1. I saw someone trying to say, oh, yeah, y'all try to hype him up in his first week, and look at that. He's not top of the rookie ladder race anymore. Well, yeah, okay. He still had a historic first game as a rookie. His first week, he was fantastic. He's still playing good. He's playing great for a rookie. It's just, he's not putting up as good production. His last few games have been spectacular, but VJ Edgecombe is 4th. So, like, if the season ended today, he'd still be All-NBA rookie first team. Cooper Flagg, the first overall pick, number 3. Cooper Flagg, he's struggled a little bit. And that's fine because he's a rookie. And I expect Cooper Flagg, VJ Edgecombe, they're going to be all-stars within the next few years, no doubt about it. Then from the Memphis Grizzlies, Cedric Cowherd, who, despite the Grizzlies games I've watched a few. I haven't really noticed much from him in the games. So that's, I can't really comment on that. But the number 1 in the Rookie of the Year ladder, number 1 right now from the Charlotte Hornets, the 4th overall pick, if memory serves me correct, Con Knipple, number 1 in the Rookie of the Year ladder. I got to start watching Hornets games. They got Ryan Kalkbrenner, Con Knippel. Both of them are playing fantastic. A rookie I've been impressed with that I've actually watched a lot of is Dylan Harper. I don't know where he is on this ladder. But Dylan Harper, when I watch Dylan Harper play, I'm like, oh, man, this guy's amazing. Well, I mean, I tend to say that about most of the Spurs. All right, when I watch the Spurs game, it's just the Spurs are a fantastic basketball team. But that will wrap it up here for episode 1 of the Gavin Brown Show, where we're talking all things basketball related. And, yeah, Lakers Thunder tonight on ESPN. I'm going to watch it. You should watch it. It'll hopefully be a great game. Yeah.